need to clean me. I like to shine.
Welcome back, folks, to the Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition, The Shadows of Arm. And when last we left off, we helped Dornil Khan complete his personal quest. He bound both Urgazoth and Azathet to his Abyssal Blade, empowering it to deal bonus damage against demons and devils alike. And here is some dialogue between Edwin and Hexaat. This cloak of yours interests me, my dear. This rag? It's far more than that. May I see it? You're seeing it now. I meant, may I examine it closely? Oh, this should be good. I'd rather you didn't. Ah! You're a smart monkey. I'd not let anyone fondle my possessions either. It's a shame, though. I would like to check that cloak out. That was some three-way dialogue. I imagine that's not very common. As I was saying, we managed to empower Dawn's blade, but there was an unintended consequence, and it's not a good one. Remember when Dawn said that his powers were somewhat diminished?
What would you have me do?
He can no longer turn undead, he can no longer cast spells, and he no longer has access to any of his blackguard special abilities. This is because those powers relied on having a patron. Without a patron, Dawn is a fallen blackguard, which is mechanically exactly the same as being a fallen paladin. It makes him a worse fighter. Sure, he can still hit things really hard and he still has 19 strength, but he no longer has any of the cool abilities that compensate for him not being able to take more than 2 points of proficiency in any weapon or fighting style. Now, he's just a fighter that can never be as good with a weapon as Korgan can. That's not great, but to be fair, I wasn't really using Dornil Khan effectively anyway. He had loads of abilities that I wasn't using, and I was only occasionally dipping into that poison weapon power. So, losing things that I wasn't using, not the worst thing. This may have unintended consequences further down the line, but I'd much rather that Dornil Khan was free of patrons and able to do whatever he likes. He may not have as much power as he did before, but the power he does have has no one tugging at the leash stopping him from using it, or directing it where he doesn't want it to go. There's one more thing that we can do before we leave, and that is that we can talk to Dornil Khan. I did this quite by mistake, and the result is interesting.
When this is over, I'll cut this tree down or see it burned to ashes.
You're not afraid of heights, are you, Dawn?
These boots were made for walking and occasionally kicking in the skull of a fallen enemy.
Not scrambling through the boughs of some god-forsaken oak. Remember, it's not the height you need to be afraid of, it's the fall that'll kill you. I don't think you should be poking fun at Dornil Khan, Hexaat. He may no longer have all of those awesome powers he had before, but as I said, he can still hit really hard. We're going to go and deal with Hexaat's quest in a minute, but before we do that, we're going to take a small detour and head to Badani's Hold. There may be something that we can do here before we pop over to the Graveyard District. It's definitely a diversion, but we have all the time in the world. And as usual, we arrive here when it's night. We always tend to arrive here when it's night. That's no bad thing. Day or night, we are welcome, as this is our fortress. Well, technically it's our fortress. It's still not our fortress, literally, but I'll take it technically being ours. We're getting the money for having it, and that's the most important thing. And I imagine so far the people that we're protecting are very happy with how we're doing things. And I'd like to keep it that way. Let's go in. Now we want to pop into this room and see if the Major Domo has anything to say to us. We may even talk to Nalia at some point. Oh, who am I kidding? We're not going to talk to Nalia. Let's just see if there's something up.
Greetings, Your Grace.
There is a man who has been waiting for some time for an audience with you. Shall I admit him or send him away? What does he want? I am unsure, my lady. He claims to be a cleric of Tempus, but comes across as rather the burly and uncouth sort. He says he will only speak with you. We might as well see what he has to say. We can turn him away later. Show him in, then. As you wish, my lady. I shall have him brought in immediately.
Hello.
Ho! How does it go with you, my lady? I trust all is well? Ha! You must be wondering what someone like me is doing here, yes? My name is Bolomir, priest of Tempus, the god of battles. It has been some time since I have rested my feet in any place, to tell the truth. I've been wandering for many a year now, and I do be hearing of a great battle that was done in this place. Trolls defeated, a land liberated. It stirs my heart to hear of such valiance. The traveling does wear on me, to tell the truth. I've come to ask if you've a chapel that a priest of Tempus might set himself up in. Bring the good word to the folk of the area. What do you say, eh? If my manner does not strike you as offensive, I would be glad to be chaplain of your wee keep here. This cleric, now that I know his name, I recall a word or two about him. I understand he was ejected from his last parish in a village to the south, in Tethir. Aye, that be a truth, what the small man says. I do not claim to be a nice man, simply a pious man. And the church he speaks of was not one to my liking. I can help your people here much while I stay, but I do not promise to stay for long. Either you accept me or you don't, my lady. That is your choice, and I'll not begrudge it you. Well, if you accept him, the family chapel in the lower level is unacceptable, but the small chapel on the floor above us would serve. It is up to you. We can either put him in the chapel, we could politely say that we're not going to have him here, or we can just dismiss him rudely. You know what? I'm not going to say no to having a priest on hand, just in case we need somebody raised from the dead, and who knows? He might sell some nice things. And he did say he could help the people in the area. If he can help them, that means that they'll like me more. So we're going to let him stay. Very well. Put him up in the chapel and let us see how it goes. Ah, you're a good sort, my lady, as I suspected you were from the stories. It would be good to have a place to preach the word of Tempus once again, truly. I will show you then to... Don't bestir yourself, laddie. I can find it just fine. You can come speak to me any time, Lady Terry. Any of me services I'll be glad to offer, if you've the need. And we gain some experience for that. And I always like gaining experience. We now need a lot of experience to gain a level, to be fair, but every little bit does help.
Yes.
Is there something else for me to deal with?
Of course.
Greetings, Your Grace.
There is nothing else for me to deal with. Fair enough. Let's go upstairs and get any money that we're owed and speak to that priest and see what he has to sell, or if he just offers various healing services, which are still very useful in themselves. Now, I believe I know where he's stationed. Probably in here. And we can access there easily enough. Let's go over here and try and grab some money. I believe we have to open up this wall, and that should be fine. Hello, don't mind me. I'm just seeing if there's any money for me to grab in here. The answer is 500.
Yes.
Marvelous.
Nothing to
Let's
it.
pop over to here. Nope, that's not how you're going to get over there. To be fair, you can't walk over there because I haven't yet opened this door. The door is now open. There could very well be some people in here that I haven't spoken to yet, so I'll take the time to open all of the doors and see if there's anyone within. The answer is no. In fact, the answer is very likely going to be no for everywhere, so let's just make our way over here and find that secret door. Hopefully I can still open it.
Very good.
Can't? There we go. We can't open it yet, but we can now.
Tell me all
Let's see if my hunch was correct, and if you're in here. To be fair, you being in here makes it pretty difficult for most people to find you, but you are indeed here. Let's have a conversation And if I'm going to buy some things, I might as well wear the ring of awesome charisma and steal your helmet. I know I keep taking your helmet and putting it on and ruining how comfortable it is, but I want that charisma.
Hello.
Good to see you again, my lady. 'Tis a fine keep you have here, and a fine people too. It feels good to be spreading the word. Something you need, eh? Everything is going well, I take it? Aye, 'tis well and grand enough. These people here haven't had a local cleric since, well, I don't know when. A bit of faith, even tempers, looks good on them, truly. I'd like to see your services, then. At your command, of course. You have the ability to accept donations. You also have items. You have lots of potions of healing. Talos's gift. Now, this is an item I've never seen before. The Boots of Grounding. They may have been in the previous game, but I don't recognize them being called this in this game. Untold years ago, the fortress of Starspire Peninsula was placed under the direct torment of Talos when a favoured storm herald was murdered there. Talos promised the destruction of the city by earthquakes, its isolation by tidal waves, and the death of its citizens by storms. One pair of these boots was bestowed to ensure that none but a single man would survive to tell the story of his wrath. Later, travellers seeking fortune in the ruined city came upon an aged man. Maddened by the continuous destruction around him, the boots he wore would carry to many a distant land the legend of a city consumed by a god's rage. Electrical resistance plus 50%, and those are very cheap boots indeed. We're gonna buy them. There are also 19 scrolls of stone to flesh. It could always pay to have another one of them. And then there's the Staff of Striking plus 3. Staffs of Striking are made by the Gold Elves of Dreligara on Evermeet. The staves have a life of their own and jump to attack in their bearers' hands. The elven craftsmen rarely sell them to other races, but these powerful melee weapons do surface occasionally in Faerun. However, each attack made with the staff uses a charge, causing it to consume itself when no charges remain. This is quite a powerful weapon. It has plus 3 Thaco, but it deals 1d6 plus 9 damage. If we had somebody that hit people with a staff, that would be pretty good. As it stands, I think I'm going to pass. There is a Helm of Charm protection here. If we needed another one of them, there is also 2 things of Scrolls of Raised Dead. We don't need those, but we could do with selling a few things while we're... Oh, you actually won't buy any of my things. Fair enough. But we have found someone who can sell us a few interesting objects. We'll put that in there. I still haven't learnt those. I'm sure I'll get round to learning them eventually. And we need to find somebody who will wear these boots. Now, who isn't? You're not wearing a pair of boots. This should be perfect. Now you have a little icon. Nearly everybody has an icon, and I should put that in the right thing. And that in there, this here, swap that back, and then we will leave. I really should probably sell that armor as well at some point. We're not using it after all. As for this sword here, the Sword of Chaos, I might sell that as well. I don't remember if that has any significance plot-wise beyond being given to you at the very beginning. Let's leave. We've pretty much done all that we can here, and I don't think we desperately need to sell anything, though I might want to rest before we go. And there's no attack that happens. To be fair, that's not surprising. If we were attacked in our own keep, that would be worrying. And we're going to fight something, don't worry, Lilikor. We're going to go and do Hexaat's quest now. Going to the Graveyard District and finding where we need to go. I imagine by the sounds of it, when we were described how we were going to get to the location we have to be, that it's going to involve magic. So we might not actually do any physical travelling in the literal sense of walking. We'll actually be travelling, but just not by using a tedious method like actual travel. Magic is an amazing thing, isn't it? and you two were busy getting some water from the well. That's fine. We haven't really stopped to eat for quite a while. We did just stop in the castle, but we typically don't stay in nice places, so the opportunity to get some well water, definitely something you should take advantage of. It's a nice sunny day, and I'm sure most of the party are going to hate that. I think Terry is the only person who can actually appreciate the beauty of nature. Let us save. We haven't saved yet, and anything could happen that could make everything go wrong.
Yeah.
Let's go to the graveyard district. It will only take us 8 hours.
Dragomir's cask will allow us to tomb walk to Shulong.
Ah, that's what you called it. You called it tomb walking. The magical process of travelling to a tomb. And trap us there until we get the claw of the black leopard.
We've a job to do.
Let's get it done then. Magical way! And here we are. I'm going to presume
I am ready.
that there's going to be a lot of traps
That is
here.
what you want.
So let us walk
If
forward
that's what you want.
cautiously. We're not going to be able to leave this tomb, I imagine, until we've got what we need. Now, is there anything that can be opened here? Lots of things can be opened here. And they're all locked. There is a pearl here. Okay. What about in this one? A single gold piece. I'm still wary of there being traps. There's one, and it's massive. And now it's gone. You should still detect traps. This is going to get very dangerous, I'm sure, especially if we walk into things like that. Now, there's something we can open here, nothing we can open there, and still no enemies. To be fair, who expects people to teleport directly into a tomb? There's nothing but incomplete skeletons here.
That's the best you can manage?
No, this looks actually very well made, Corgan.
Good.
Oh, we have some kind of spectral guardians here, Kino and a ghostly monk. This could end badly. Time to save. They haven't attacked us just yet, though, so maybe we can talk this through. There's another person here, another ghostly monk, and over there is another ghostly monk. Intruders! Intruders in the crypt! Kill them! Wait, we don't want to fight you. Speak for yourself, Terry. Attack!
Hold your position. These aren't like the other invaders.
Other invaders?
Hideous creatures from the Underdark have penetrated the crypt of scholars.
Well, that's not encouraging news. They consume the preserved brains of our ancestors. That's definitely not encouraging news. Illithids. I'd hoped that I'd seen the last of them for quite a while. Maybe we can strike a deal here. We're going to offer our assistance. Show me where they are. They must pay for these dark deeds.
I am Kino, commander of the Spirit Guard.
Do you have any experience with creatures from the Underdark? Only with killing them.
Help us kill them, and we shall not prevent you from exploring the rest of the crypt.
That's what I wanted to hear. You've gone mad, Kino. You can't let them pass.
Do we have an agreement?
It's a deal.
The crypt of scholars is to the south of you. Good fortune be with you.
Let's go. I wonder if you're going to move ahead of us. You probably are. Yep, you're moving ahead of us. So let's go and head this way. And in. Oh, you move quite quickly. And here are some dangerous foes indeed. Right. We're going to have to use the ability to go berserk here. We're going to have to use haste and go for it. You deal with them. We're going to get some assistance in this, which is nice. In fact, they're going to do a pretty good job of dealing with all of them. So we'll just deal with these, and then move forward. We need to keep in time with them. There are lots of traps everywhere. I don't like the fact that there are lots of traps everywhere. But they're not going off, which suits me just fine. Now, let's step further forward and find you. Right. That's not great, but we can deal with this Mind Flayer. As long as you don't hit... There we go! Ah! That is an Alhoon. Okay, time to simulacrum here and have another Korgan. We need another Korgan. There we go. And now you must attack, and hopefully... Oh, well, that's unfortunate, isn't it? That's definitely unfortunate. So we really only have Korgan here to fight the Alhoon. Let's hope this will be in... Nope, that was not enough. That was not enough at all. We got held and killed.
Can we go whack something now?
Remember the problems we had before with Mind Flayers? That's happening now. We need to be more cautious than we were.
Nothing to it.
We'll go through this dialogue again quickly. Indeed, we are here to attack, and yet we're not here to attack.
Hold your position.
We shall quickly go through all this
I am
and help them, because we definitely want to, and then we will detect a trap right there. A handy thing to find. Now let us move over here quickly, and we might as well cast haste right now. There we go! We're a lot faster. Time to move in and ready ourselves. You're going to move forward, we're going to do this, and then you're going to cast a stone skin on yourself. You gonna help me? Not all of you are going to help, which may not be great. One of you may have rushed forward and done something rather silly, and that was just a ghostly monk. Fair enough. Let's have you move forward, and you haven't actually been hasted, so we shall try this again, and then you're going to Simulacrum. Marvellous. I want you to be berserked as well, and that ghostly monk didn't last very long. Time to deal with the Mind Flayer. And there is the Alhoon. And another Mind Flayer. Deal with you as quick as we can, and then deal with you two. And then we'll attack the Alhoon. The Alhoon actually focusing on the Korgans there is a good thing, because it means that we can start using our abilities, like Pierce Magic, and using our bow, and this crossbow, and this bow, and you can use that sling. We can slowly whittle down this opponent. Slowly. Aha! You have no defenses anymore! And now you are gone. That went much better.
Nothing like mind flayers to make you appreciate the company of an insane vampire.
Mind Flayers are never good news.
The monsters are dead. Thank the ancient.
A grim bit of business, that. I'm glad we were able to help you, Kino. Let's not mention that we're after that. That might turn them hostile. And let's also not taunt them by mentioning that.
As am I. Now, I believe you agreed to let us go get the claw of the Black Leopard.
Okay, way to reveal what we're doing, Hexaat. Kino, no. You cannot let them pass.
They honored their end of the bargain, we shall do the same.
Good to hear.
The Black Leopard's claw can be found in the crypt of Nangkun Chi. Through there.
My thanks, Kino. Excellent. We have managed to deal with those Illithid without getting killed. More than once. It happening once was pretty much inevitable. I hope we can rest in here, because we might need to. And when we come back, folks, we're going to... Oh! And, the Berserk has ended, and now you're just tired. When we come back, folks, we'll continue to explore this tomb. There are lots of things that are locked that we need to unlock, because there might be loot, and we like loot. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.